Hey YouTube, it's Maddie the Emptiness Scrapper. I'm so glad you stopped by. Today I'm trying something new. So if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by again. I really appreciate you coming by. But this is my very first make a card. And if you enjoy it, please leave me a comment and a thumbs up. If it's your first time, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna get started and pretty much give you a little overview of what I'm going to do. So just so you guys are all aware, I am a perpetual beginner. So I'm going to make a card in a way I know how, and it's a card I've made before, so hopefully I can get it done. And I hope you enjoy it, and if you like it, maybe you'll make one similar to it. I have my favorite inks in front of the camera that I like to use for blending. These are the blending brushes I use. They are just makeup brushes, inexpensive. If you're interested, I will link it down below. And I'm going to try to blend a little sunset and then stamp an image across the bottom. So this is a little silhouette of a meadow, and I'm going to use also a larger piece to accompany that. So I'm going to set that aside for now because that's something that we're going to do a little bit later. To stamp the image, I plan to use my VersaFine Clair in Nocturne, and I'll just let you know what colors I'm using for the sunset. So first color is Wilted Violet. Next I have Cracked Pistachio, Fired Brick, Carved Pumpkin, Squeezed Lemonade, Mustard Seed, Mowed Lawn, and Salty Ocean. So I'm going to set these aside so I have enough room for when I'm making the card, and hopefully it'll turn out well and inspire you to make something similar if you have similar supplies in your craft room. And of course you don't need the exact same supplies to create anything that you like. Just something similar usually will do. So these colors are colors I actually matched when watching someone do a sunset video. I did not come up with these colors, but when I followed the instructions while I was watching and came up with the finished product, I thought it was pretty nice, so I thought I would maybe try it for you guys and see how that goes. So that was just the Squeezed Lemonade, and then I'm going to move on to some Mustard Seed. These are close enough that I feel like I can use the same brush. I use this set of brushes for just my oxides. For dye inks, I will use a different set, and this way hopefully the inks won't become contaminated. So I don't know if that's really true. That's what people say, and who am I to argue? This set of brushes was like $10 on Amazon. I had them on my wish list, and I was able to get more than one set so that it wasn't a huge, big problem to get enough for different different colors, and they're pretty easy to store. So I felt like that would be fine for me. So right now, just in the middle of this sort of blend, and for a sunset, I feel like it doesn't have to be perfect. Colors come in and out, and it is just easy to blend them across one another once I have them laid down, see what I like, and see if I feel like it looks like a sunset, like I was hoping it would. So it's just less precise. And when I try to put something together, precise can be a problem for me. So if I have a project that I can try that is not terribly precise, I feel like it may be something that I can get done. And in the end, it doesn't look like a hot mess. So let's see if we can keep this from being a hot mess. So far, we're looking pretty hot mess. This may not make it to air. We're all gonna find out together, and that's a fact. I'm looking at the first one. It looks so much nicer than the one I'm working on now. So let's blend along a little bit more and see if that helps me out any. I will take it under advisement to see if I feel as if this is going to become a sunset or just continue to become a hot mess. And the bottom colors were the Mowed Lawn, I believe, and the Salty Ocean. So let's see how that goes. Oh, well, that ain't good. I just put my blue brush into my green pad. Hopefully it won't be a big deal. I just love these inks. Just love them. They blend smooth and easily. They're my favorite choice for ink blending. Do have some re-inkers, and it may be in order to re-ink these pads pretty soon. I think if they're juicier, they tend to blend easier, and Easy is always delightful, isn't it? More green. So I will say, when you're blending, and it's not just a rainbow blend, but you want to try to make it look like some sort of scene, it can be hard to tell if it's going to actually look like you hoped until it's more put together. But I'm going to see about blending things a bit more. And see if that will work out. To be a sunset when we're done. Not sure if it's quite sunsetty right now. I think I got some green where I don't really want it too much, but look at those prints. I've ruined all my yellow. Oh my goodness. Inky fingers are definitely a problem on this. Yellow is just saying, what have you done to me? But we blend through and see if we can make it work. Not too terrible right now. Oops. And let's see if we can just give a little wipe to the table and take a look at what we have and see if we can make it work out. I may blend a little bit more. First order of business, take care of these fingers so as not to ruin it again. And of course, anyone who's done ink blending should know that holding down your card with your card panel, rather, with some paper towel is the smart thing to do. So I'm just going to blend a bit more. Don't really know if I want to bring in more actual ink, just to blend with the brushes that already have some ink right there. May just go in with a little bit more yellow. And I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to grab the brushes and move them aside. And move on to my next order of business, which is going to be my stamping. So I showed you the stamp, and one of the things I just want to let you know is I always use a stamp positioner. So I don't know if this is something you have or you prefer to maybe use excuse me, use a block. Whatever you're most comfortable with is always the way to go. I tried stamping in the very beginning of my crafting life without a stamp positioner, and honest to goodness, I said I will never ever be able to do this. This is not something that I can do. I couldn't get a stamp to save my life. Couldn't make it work. Looked horrible every time. If this is something that you've had an issue with, I promise you, if you try a stamp positioner, it will change your mind about stamping 100%. So right now, the most popular stamp positioner is 100% the Misty in the United States. However, for a short while, there were a few other stamp positioners available, and during that time, I purchased a Stamp Perfect, and I have enjoyed using that and haven't thought of changing from the stamp positioner that I own. It has absolutely served me well, and I really do enjoy using it. So one of the reasons, as you can see, that a stamp positioner is useful is because it may be difficult to get an image dark enough with just stamping one time. So what I like to do is go down more than once, and it gives me a little bit stronger image. So this stamp, you can see, is not not really big enough to cover the entire panel. And if you've tried this before, you know that you can just stamp again using only part of the stamp. So right now I'm cleaning the stamp off because I am going to stamp again, and I am going to change the position of the stamp, of the panel, I'm sorry, pardon me. Going to change the position of the panel so I can get to the other side of the stamp. So let me just get my bearings here. Yeah. let's see. Think it will probably work right about there, and if not, we'll just figure it out. Gonna close the door, pick up my stamp, ink it up. Doesn't seem like it was dry because I picked up some. And let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Not too bad. We'll try it again. And I'll just ink it as many times as I need to, but I think I'm just gonna go with that. Just gonna change that orientation and see how I feel about it. So I think we're done with you, and gonna throw in a little accent here, and anything that sort of is out of order, I'm just going to trim away. That's the secret. Just trim it away. So I'm going to pick up this piece right here. Ink it up. And we'll see how it goes. And that seems okay with me. Hold it up to the phone so you guys can see what you think. I just may trim away some of the parts that perhaps didn't reach it to the end, and we'll call it good after that. So at this point, you may want to think about adding a sentiment. Maybe you want to use a stamp. For this particular card, I decided that I would make a little die cut for it and see how that goes. So I pre-cut this die cut, and gonna just see how I feel about that. Oops. I am pretty butterfingers, which is something I'm used to. And I'm a pretty slow crafter for that reason, but that's okay with me. So I'm thinking I would like it to look something like this. So with that in mind, I'm gonna grab my trimmer, put this aside, and trim out the edges so the parts that didn't get stamped quite to the edge, it will not be a part of the card. So I don't know if you've had similar issues. I try just not to let it bother me. I just figure out a way to make it work. Check it against my card panel and see if I like the border around and if it's all right, if it's something I can live with, then I will call it good. So just gonna put the trimmer aside, pretty much done with that. And work on gluing this down now. Gonna take this Bearly Arts glue and just dot it around. Blot some off. And place it on the card. Here we go, last one. Blot it off. And place it on the card. Have my panel ready. Going to look like this. What do you think? I hope you enjoyed making a card with me, and if you did, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment and let me know if you would like to see some more card making. Or if you don't, what is it you would like? I would love to bring it to you. So thank you so much, and be well, be safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, YouTube.